You know, so, I'm making all these jokes, right? But like a lot of people are very embarrassed to really discuss their
Of course.
problems, right? Especially
Mm-hmm.
to their partners, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what usually keeps people from breaking that communication gap between themselves and their partner,
Mm-hmm.
or just even with a professional like yourself? Like
Yeah,
what's the
it's
gap?
kind of that oxymoron of being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So you have to be a little uncomfortable to talk about it because sex in our society is becoming a little less taboo, but in the main scheme of things, it's still taboo. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And so, where a lot of us are not raised in sex positive environments. So if
Yeah.
we talk about sex in an educational and healthy way from a young age. Like even with my son, I bought a book. He gonna know his penis is his penis, not his jewels or whatever you want to
How old is
call
your
it. But
son?
it's gonna be a sex positive home. He's gonna know about it
How old is
because
your
you make
son?
more educated decisions.
How
He is 16 months.
16 months you bought him a book. You got me
I already got it.
all
It
the
starts
ways.
It starts there.
This,
It starts there. I'm telling you, it's real. Because I said
you
he's gonna
have
be
a
sex
six.
positive.
First of all, you have a 16-month-old for whom you've bought, I guess, what kind of book is it?
A
It's
sex positive book.
sex positive
Yes.
book. Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Seuss don't stand a chance in that house. Apparently, because like, what are we doing right now? So, okay, so like, how soon is it too soon, or what is it like? How soon do you
There's
think
levels to it.
to like, to communicate sex with your kids? Like,
Because it's not like you go based on their age, right? So right now we're not talking about the act of sex so much at his age. We're talking about body parts and anatomy that
got
we're
it.
gonna call it. We're gonna call it penis, testicles, anus, and also learning about consent. What's okay and
Got
saying,
it.
hey,
Got it.
do they have permission to touch you on your penis so that they can make sure you're okay? But that also helps with regards to potential other activities, as we call them, minor attracted persons. So when something, if
Minor
it was to,
attract. First of all, just call them pedophiles. What are we talking about?
we reframe. We don't like in sex therapy world. You don't pathologize, so that's the reframe of what you call
Really?
them.
What
Yes,
did
and
you
I've
call it?
worked with that population too.
What's the term you use?
Minor attracted persons.
Minor attracted persons. That is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
syllables, and I'm
MAPs. Maps.
maps.
Yep. There you go.
You a whole map. I've never heard that before, but
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you're teaching sex positivity in the household early. That will
Mm-hmm.
essentially give people more space to be comfortable speaking about their sexuality,
Absolutely.
their body.
Yes.
So is
Yes.
that what you think is happening to women with lack of desire? Like they haven't
Mm-hmm.
communicated? Like walk me through that.
Mm-hmm.
Why are women having lack of
Yeah.
desire more often than men, I guess?
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's how, first and foremost, probably how women's brains are wired because it is different from men's, obviously.
Okay.
Secondly, it is that piece because as women in society, it's kind of like a shame involved for being a sexual being when
Sure.
that shouldn't be the case. Men don't have that same context in the society. It's kind of, if anything, is glorified. But
Yeah.
that's that man box issue. That's a whole other topic in itself. The
What you say?
toxic
What you call it?
masculinity.
Man box issue? You can't just
Man
go
box. Man box.
man box. What does that mean?
So it's basically, this was this TED talk by this dude who talked about the man box. So it's this box. Men only can identify themselves in this little box. Hypersexualized, hyper aggressive, have to be tough, all these things in this box. So if I'm
Yeah.
anything outside of this box, that must mean I'm less of a man. That's where toxic masculinity comes in.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So women, ours is not, our identity is not placed in sex as much. It's being a mom, it's being a wife, it's being this, it's being that. It's not that. So that's a societal standpoint. But then you got household, then you got religion and sexual suppression, which you pushing back
Yeah.
sex or a sexual desire because I'm not married yet.
Yeah.
So it don't feel okay for me to think like that. You know what I'm saying?
Got
So
it,
there's
got
a
it.
lot of factors
But
involved.
why are women more like prone to like I'm assuming that's what you're saying, are more prone to suppress their sexual identity and not identity, but like desires
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
through especially through like the guides of religion. Is that
Yes.
is that a woman thing or is that men as well?
Maybe some men. I've seen some men, not a lot, but some.
Okay.
Some. But religion and society as well, because once again, women are stigmatized for being sexual or hypersexual, whereas men aren't.
When you say society, are you including religion?
Religion could be a part of that too.
So
But I think
do you
it's
feel
both
like
and.
religion is biased towards men?
Very much so.
Really?
Very much so. Yes.
You know what's crazy? You said that. Like, so I used to be. So when I was up until like high school and stuff like that, I used to be on some like no sex before marriage type stuff. I grew up very religious. I'm not religious now, but like I had this mindset of like no sex before marriage. That's just what it is. And every girl that I dated in high school, they wanted to have sex with me. I mean, look at me, I'm amazing. But I'm just saying that
I like how you threw that in there.
I just throw that in there. It just had to be said. You dig? So, and I was the prude one. I was like, no, you don't get to have this. You know what I mean? I was that guy, right? And that was because of, you know, the parental pressure as well as the religious pressure that I had because I grew up like reading the Bible and all this stuff. And, you know, over time when I got a little bit more autonomy in how I thought, like I developed a little bit more open-mindedness about like sex and other types of like worldly things. And I didn't think about it that way, but I wonder if I had a little bit more freedom to do it because I'm a man versus if a woman would have stuck through it even longer. Cause I've heard of, you know, women who are like, you know, literally 40-year-old virgins. You know what I mean? So
me too.
That's kind of wild to me.
Yeah, definitely. But that's how strong religion is for some people, or a lot of people rather.
Okay. So
You make those decisions.
So when it comes to like communicating sex, what is the best way for a person to communicate sex with their partner?
Yeah. Just having, like I said, having intimate conversations. And, you know, even after sex, we don't have to say it during, or sometimes during is good too, because it's kind of letting the person know, like, okay, I'm on the right track. But even outside of the act in the moment, it's saying like, this is what I really enjoyed and appreciated. And this is what I would like to see more of, or I would like to see done better. And I'm happy to teach you. Okay. You know, but people have to be willing to receive that. And not all men, but a good chunk of them have a difficult time receiving feedback. Like, you just know, like, oh, I know what I'm doing. But it's like, apparently she's trying to tell you something and it's not effective for her. So please receive that.
Yeah, but
you know,
how
it's
often,
kind of an ego thing.
How often are women really like directly communicating what they
Not
want?
a lot.
Okay. So is it a factor of men being like difficult in receiving, or is it that women are difficult in communicating?
It's both and.
Well, damn, we screwed then. What we talking about right now?
It's both and, because we can't blame it on one person. So yes, women and men have to be more vocal, because men have needs too. They both have to be more vocal and both have to be willing to receive.